Alrighty guys, what is going on everybody, and welcome back here to another live stream for tonight. We just got done with some severe weather coverage here a little bit ago, about an hour ago, and we are back and ready to kick off another stream with you guys in order to cover the crazy weather that's on the horizon here. Like I said, we got a lot of stuff that's getting ready to kick off here regarding, like I said, we're just finishing up with this event here. It's fading out. Everything's pretty much dead. That crazy storm we were watching, that last severe thunderstorm warning, is well below severe limits now, so all is good. Everything is all right. So we're going to be talking about the severe weather event for the country later on this week. We're going to talk about the tropics because we have two situations, one across the Gulf of Mexico potentially, as well as one in northwest Australia with a big old Category 5. Looking pretty nasty. But what's up, guys? Hope everyone's doing well. I never did a welcome. Let's go ahead and see who is here. We have ourselves Cyclone, we have Jonathan, Ronald, we have Susan, let's see, we have Brad, we have White Wolf, we have, let's see, Pilot, let's see, Aviation, Zero, Benjoy, Joseph, Ryan. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing good out there. So we are going to be going over, like I said, a lot of the fundamentals and stuff like that we are expecting, a lot of crazy stuff that we're expecting here over the next few days. And yes, the models are still supporting a decent severe weather event that is scheduled to kick off here for basically the 14th now. It's actually kind of showing early signs of maybe even a bit of severe weather here for the 14th. So let's go ahead and dive on into the model. So we're going to take a look here at the ECMWF. This is regarding the severe weather for later on this week. So we're going to take a look at that here first. Now, as we track way down in time here, you can see in the top left how it's showing right there for the 14th, which is pretty interesting. Overall, you can see all of this available energy for thunderstorm development. So like I said, this is basically the fuel, the food that these thunderstorms use in order to, really to fire off here. And whenever it comes to it, like I said, you typically look for over 500, and we're seeing the highest areas here, potentially out of this event, actually near like 3,500. So we have a lot of available energy out there for severe weather development and all that stuff. So overall, like I said, that is kind of what we are looking at. So overall, we could have the possibility for some severe thunderstorms here, basically for the late 14th starting off, maybe even some thunderstorm activity up into like the Midwest region. There is a little bit of instability available. Would not be surprised if this did trend up a little bit, possibly. I'm not saying it will, but it could be a possibility we could see some storms and perhaps a few severe storms towards the Midwest if things continue. Then obviously as we track away into the 15th, that's where the big event's expected here with a lot of available energy out there towards Texas. Really do think that hail is going to be one of the big concerns, followed by some damaging winds, and I'd even say a few tornadoes cannot be ruled out. Then obviously as we track way down and further in time, this could pick back up across like the southeast. What I've noticed though in the latest runs, this is the European model by the way, this is showing the possibility of some some thunderstorms, even there towards like New York State. So let me go ahead and grab a sounding out there. I know you guys probably don't know how to read all this, but I'll tell you what. Based off of what this model is saying here is that there's a lot of available energy in the atmosphere. I'd say a little bit of hail could be possible, maybe some damaging wind gusts, but the winds, they change direction with altitude. So I don't know if you guys can tell this, which is really interesting, but here towards the surface, the winds, so this is right here at the ground level where this white line is. There towards the surface, the winds are pointing north, and as you go up into the atmosphere, right at this line, which is 9 kilometers up, or about, I think that's about like 30,000 feet or so, the winds change directions to the northeast. So that change in wind direction with altitude allows for the possibility of tornadic storms to pop off. And like I said, the winds are not that strong, meaning they're not blowing that fast, but the winds are in the right direction and theoretically strong enough for maybe a few tornadoes, cannot be ruled out, just based off of the sounding here for the 16th, the evening of the 16th. So I'm not saying it's going to be impossible. I'm saying it's a possibility. Now, whenever you compare it here to the American GFS here, whenever we take a look here at the American GFS, we are seeing a very similar event here with a lot of that available energy. Like I said, really only you need is 500 to 1,000, and we're seeing well over 3,000 in some of these regions here, which is absolutely crazy. Once again, bringing the possibility for severe weather, maybe up here towards like the Midwest. We're talking here for like the late 14th, maybe for areas here along Oklahoma, Kansas potentially could be seeing this, and then of course carrying here for the 15th. With a lot of energy. Holy cow. The GFS goes nuts with the available energy out there. Some areas over 4,000, which is crazy. And like I said, maybe therefore now this model, the GFS, does not really show as much activity there towards the northeast, but it does show a little bit of activity being possible out there. Let's see here. Liam with a $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Liam. Really appreciate it, man. Glad to have you here. Thank you. Very sweet of you. But like I said, overall, there is enough energy in the atmosphere here, even enough to probably fire off some nasty severe weather. Now, overall, my main concern is for areas down in like the coastal Texas, Louisiana region. Could be possible. So, Matt, I see that you're here. You might want to watch out here because, the winds are pretty weak, though. That's the problem. And this could lack organization in these storms. But the amount of energy that's present is just nuts. Like I said, tons and tons of available energy here. This is towards Matt. Winds are pretty weak. But I do see big hail potential if these storms can actually, initiate, which is possible. Damaging winds, definitely a big possibility too. But I think that's kind of the main concerns here so far, is the threat for damaging winds and maybe even a bit of, decently sized hail. I think that's a good possibility. Now, let me go ahead and bring this over here to the winds. Like I said, obviously the big event is expected here for like the 15th, starting here actually on the 14th. As we track way down here into the 15th, kind of for like the evening hours, you notice how the winds are decently strong, not for those areas of the instability. So like I said, we've seen a lot of that energy for thunderstorm development kind of right around in these regions, which is in a zone where there's not much winds, unfortunately. So like I said, with that being said, it basically just leads us to the potential there of not really seeing not as good organization occurring inside the storms there. So that's overall the verdict here. But the winds do definitely strengthen once we move into like the 16th. So definitely some pretty interesting stuff here. So we possibly could be watching out for that. So really based off of the winds and, everything going on there, mixing up here with the available energy, we're going to take a look here back at forecast hour 132 because this is where when the crazy stuff happens. Honestly, like I said, probably there towards like Arkansas could be an area of watching. We should probably keep an eye out there for areas towards Arkansas. So we'll see what happens. But overall, we'll just keep an eye on it and everything like that. All right. So let's see. Hi, Andrew, about Louisville, Texas. So we'll get to the personal forecast here in a moment. Now, the next thing I want to talk to you guys about here is the possible activity here in the Gulf of Mexico. Because like I said, the models have been kind of pointing towards a subtropical cyclone here over the last few days. I mean, it's been pretty interesting to see what the models have been throwing out to us. But overall, I mean, it does show a bit of circulation. You can actually see right there in the Gulf. Really start to commence here basically for the late 12th, moving into the 13th. And like I said, if you don't know what's going on out there, there is a strong low pressure system that's expected to drive the potential here of, maybe some wind, maybe some heavy winds. Depends on what exactly happens, but it could bring some heavy winds there. Maybe even a bit of coastal flooding. I think that is a very big concern. Yeah, according to the NAM here, according to this model, it's been very, very severe. Very, very strong system here, according to the NAM model, which really just is pretty interesting to see. Here, but we'll keep an eye on it. Now, the winds out of this guy, I mean, we're talking potentially up to like 45 knots, which that's equivalent to around like 60-something miles an hour. That's sustained wind. So gusts could be even higher, according to the latest NAM. A little interesting. Wow. Even the FV3 is showing a bit of intensity, kind of showing it hitting southeastern Louisiana. So this thing is looking pretty interesting, with the latest models coming through here. So once again, this is just about 2.5 days out here, which is a very interesting sight here. Let's see. Try some other models out there. This one does not go as far. Here, we'll try this guy. Yeah, look at this. So this model, the RGEM, does not show as much activity. Kind of really picks up to what the models were showing the other day of having a central low and then having this kind of vortice kind of swing back, which is really interesting. You see how it kind of swings down and scoops up there towards, it goes from like south central Louisiana to like the eastern side right there with the strongest low. Very interesting in terms of how the models are suggesting all this. We got some more models. This one doesn't go up that high. Some of these models are not the best for looking. Let's try this one. The WRF-ARW. Yeah, this one doesn't go out as far either, but I tell you what. Yeah, I'm a little concerned here, actually, because like I said, the models are really picking up here in intensity with the latest mid-range models, latest mid and high-range models. We could be in store for something. I tell you what. Let's try HWR. Back to 00Z. HRRR here. Wow. Yeah, HRRR kind of shows some pockets there of tropical storm force. Which, once again, this is not a tropical storm, by the way. This is, it has characteristics. It works like a tropical storm in some ways, but the only problem is we call it a subtropical storm. The surface temperatures, the way it's fed its fuel is kind of a little bit different overall. Like I said, the surface temperatures are a little bit cooler than what tropical development needs, but it does have very similar interactions as a tropical storm here would. Let me go ahead and bring you all over here to the models, actually, to these models. I'm going to go ahead and switch you all to the scene here now. What is really interesting, I want to see, like, the wave height. I don't know what the heck has been going on here lately with my scenes here, because I always have them lined up, and then they always mess up here at the last moment. Anyways, but regardless here, we're going to take a look at this. We'll go select the region. I know it's a blank screen. We'll do United States. We'll take a look here at the United States view, all the way down through the model parameters, and look at this. We'll take a look here at the wave height. ECMWF, here we go. So this is according to the ECMWF. We're going to go ahead and hide this top part so it's not really in the way. All right, well, at least this way it shows you like the table and how strong the winds, how strong the waves could be. So according to things, look at that, right off the coast here for basically the middle 12th. This is the 12th of April. At 4 o'clock p.m., showing a bit of high swelling, a bit of high waves right there, over 10 foot, right there, just shy south of Mobile, Alabama. And as we track way down here further in time here, yeah, the waves really don't get too much higher. And right now, actually, the waves are pretty daggone high up there on the eastern coast of Florida because we have a lot of southwesterly winds, going right through Florida right now. Really increasing those wave heights overall. So that's something. But like I said, maximum wave height, according to the European model, it shows about 10, 11 foot maybe. So really nothing too extreme out there. So that's good news, at least. That is definitely some good news. Now, one of the other things I do want to mention, you guys, is the fact that with these quote-unquote systems here, they are known to sometimes produce tornadoes, and that's what we call the cyclone-induced tornadoes here. So that is something that we need to discuss here. So with the system that rolls through, you can see how the NAM really, this model really picks up on its strength here. The NAM is pretty crazy. I wonder if the Namnest shows here. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. Namnest. Yeah, showing really interesting activity out of this thing. But overall, back to the NAM here, with the available energy that's in the atmosphere, you see how the right-hand side, there's a lot of energy out of this. That could bring the threat for some tornadoes. I'd even say for the panhandle of Texas being panhandle of Florida being possible. Didn't mean to say no Texas. Here's a sounding view. Just a quick little look at the atmosphere in a sample here. Really not, yeah, I'm not seeing anything tornadic out of this sounding here, though, but I tell you what, damaging winds, some gusty winds out of these cells that could fire off here. This storm could have some rain bands that fires off a bit of, strong to severe storms that could even cause some damaging wind possibilities. So I would definitely keep that one in consideration here. Overall, yeah, I mean, you can actually see here, you can see how portions of, like, Florida, how there's a lot of available energy that drives its way up here, which I find very interesting. And you can actually see here on the lower level winds here. Look at that. Yeah, those winds are really cranking across those lower levels there, which I find a little bit interesting. Yeah, so the winds are the strongest here towards the surface in these storms here, which that is definitely a little bit interesting. So, yeah, I really do think that areas here in the Panhandle could have the tornado threat out of this here. This is expected to make quote-unquote landfall here for basically the morning of the 13th. So basically, kind of showing around like 3 to 5 a.m. So it's a pretty early landfall. It is a pretty early landfall out there. So we'll need to be up early for this one. Definitely going to need to keep an eye out there for that one. Now I will talk more about this here in a moment, but I do want to switch y'all's attention over here to yet again another tropical system, or another system in the tropics that we should be monitoring here. And this is right here across portions of Australia. Now, like I said, we really don't go over, typically we really don't go outside the United States, but for this system here, it is definitely required because we are seeing a very nasty cyclone here that is going to cause a lot of problems for the coast here of Australia. I mean, look at that. Big old, if you don't know what it is, they call these cyclones near Australia. They're also known as typhoons in Western Pacific. And they're also known as hurricanes, as you probably know them as. And but they're all just different names, but they are the same thing. But overall, yes, we are seeing a very, very strong cyclone. It make landfall here for the 13th around the same time as that tropical potential, or that subtropical cyclone will make landfall here in the southeast. So I'm finding this a little bit interesting. So we're going to be doing 2 coverages of tropical cyclones at once. My goodness, it is going to be, it is going to be pretty crazy. It is definitely going to be a very, very crazy morning there for the 13th. So we got the next few days to prepare for this. Like I said, the landfall out of this guy is going between Port Hedland as well as Broome here. So, yeah, between Port Hedland and Broome, yeah, those are regions we should definitely watch out there for. But overall, that's that. Just want to go ahead and mention that with y'all. I do want to take a look here at the models on the let's see, NAM 3K here. We'll go ahead and drive this down in time here across the states here. The latest NAM 3K. Yeah, like I said, you can start to see that low coming in development right in here with the NAM model. Because once again, like I said, if y'all are just joining into us, we're watching a subtropical cyclone, pretty similar to a tropical storm in multiple characteristics, but like I said, it could be bringing some problems there for the coastlines. Right now, in terms of quote-unquote landfall, where the central low of the system is expected to roll through, it's kind of showing right in these regions. So I'd say anywhere along these areas kind of seems to be like the area of landfall as of right now. Kind of not really any further west of Baton Rouge area, coastal regions. Not west longitudinal wise. But like I said, I think a more likely landfall could be there near Mobile, Alabama. I definitely think that is possible. And like I said, the models like the NAM specifically does really support that possibility of that system making quote-unquote landfall right there for the early 13th. Once again, we're talking about like 2 to 5 a.m. Or so out of this. So overall, we definitely should be watching out for this. I mean, like I said, this thing spins up here. And once again, I do think that this could be bringing a tornado threat with it. Like I said, historically speaking, and what these systems do, like I said before, is right there on, once again, right there on the right-hand side of, like I said, right there on the right-hand side there of, these cyclones. That's where we have all the ingredients, increased wind shear, lots of instability, and all of that comes together and fires off the threat for possible tornadoes right there on the right-hand side. So we'll definitely just keep an eye on it overall. But y'all stay safe out there. Like I said, right now, in terms of sustained winds out of this, like I said, according to some of the models there, let's see here. I don't know. Some of these actually do support it, some don't. But here towards the ground level, according to some of these models, which we'll go and bring back up here, some of the models actually do support these winds in excess of 40 knots, which, like I said, that's about like 45, 50 miles an hour, which, like I said, that is... Yeah, that's near tropical storm force. And like once again, like I said, this is not a tropical storm, by the way. Like I said, this is actually what we call a... like I said, this is what we call a subtropical cyclone. So overall, that is kind of what we are looking at out there. So, like I said, we'll keep an eye on it. Definitely will be watching out for it. Like I said, you can really see the NAM. This is the model we're looking at now. The NAM model really hits this thing. So the NAM really hits this thing pretty hard here. You can see those areas in red. Like I said, that's showing an excess of 40 knots. So right there, it looks like Mobile, Alabama, according to the NAM, will take a direct hit out of this here, which, I mean, depends on the model you look at, but that is that. I don't even think the Hurricane Center has anything on this last time I checked. Yeah, Hurricane Center has nothing on it, although I will show you guys something real quickly. Let's go and take this over to this view. So, here, we'll just full screen it here for y'all. Now, whenever it comes to the winds out of this here, yeah, the winds have actually increased in the latest frames. Yeah, over 30 knots according to that view here on the surface. So that's a blend between like everything, which is interesting. And like I said, it shows over 30 knots here, which would put this thing around tropical storm force winds, essentially. But like I said, once again, it's not considered a tropical storm there. And whenever it comes to it, with everything going on here, I don't know if they have any hazards on this thing right now. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, no hazards in effect right now. But I have a feeling that they're going to definitely probably do this. But yeah, we'll just watch it. Definitely keep an eye on it. And we'll continue to inform y'all on the subject here. Because, like I said, this is definitely something we should watch. But, like I said, it's not the end of the world. Like I said, a lot of my friends out there in the coastlines, y'all are definitely used to this type of weather. And it's just an early little reminder that hurricane season's in a couple of months. So, just remember that hurricane season will be here on June 1st, I think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's June 1st is whenever it starts. Whenever hurricane season starts, it's June 1st, and I think it lasts until November 30th, if I'm not mistaken. So, anyways, but that's that. Just want to go ahead and do a little touch-up on that and everything. Like I said, between this system right here and the one in Australia, and obviously the severe weather to shortly follow after that, I mean, like I said, we're watching here basically, for the possibility of severe weather on the 14th and 15th. So this is going to be like a busy few days over the next few days, so we'll keep an eye on it. All right, let's see here. I'm just joined. Sorry if I missed something, but I saw the comment saying Baton Rouge is going to get hit. So here's the thing. Ellison, we have actually, I think he's a troll, so we're going to go to hide him. But the thing is that, no, Baton Rouge is not in the direct line of fire here. I mean, you're close. You might have some impacts out of it, but the areas that we're watching right now, as you can see, according to NAM here, looks at Mobile, areas here. Sorry, Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge is over here in the southeastern side of Louisiana, and obviously this is kind of expected to roll here, maybe towards like Mobile, Alabama, as a possibility. Now, once again, this is just a model idea. Like I said, all models have their own opinion here, but I'd still keep an eye on it. We'll definitely watch this one pretty closely. Let's see here. Brian says, I'm on the east coast of Florida, chilling in my van. Heavy rain and minor flooding all day. I love it as long as it stays calm. No, I hear you. Here's the thing. So when it comes to it, Brian, on the right-hand side of Florida, typically right where you're at here, those winds out there, they're going to be pretty strong. Like I said, especially there towards like the coastlines. I mean, they seem to be calming down a little bit, but earlier they were definitely a lot stronger than they are now. They're definitely improving. But we have ourselves a bunch of these southwesterlies, a bunch of winds pointing right there at the eastern coast of Florida. And like I said, that could increase swelling. That could cause some coastal swelling out there. I mean, we're talking winds sustained here of around 25, 30 knots, which, like I said, goes up to about 35 to 40 miles an hour roughly. But yeah. But overall, that is that. That is essentially what we are seeing. High pressure builds in the region, and of course, we have that subtropical low brewing in the Gulf there, and basically that pressure gradient will increase over a short distance there. So that's that. So probably could bring some gusty winds out of it. I tell you what. Let's see here. Thank you for answering. No problem. Yeah, no problem at all. All right. So I know what y'all are waiting for. We'll go ahead and get on into the personal zip codes here. And we'll go ahead and do such here right now. So, like I said, if y'all have any zip codes, we'll take a look here over the next few days. We're just going to take a look at the next 3 days, and if there's anything significant, like I said, if I think you're going to be impacted by severe weather, with that system down in time, I'll let you know about it. But mostly, we're just looking at the next few days. We're going to briefly go over the models here with y'all. Per location, I'll pull up like the NAM and I'll show you what kind of precipitation we might be able to see here. But once again, you should not just trust one model, but we're just going to give a good estimate of what things. I mean, the NAM does a pretty good job of giving you a general idea of what could be expected. All right, let's see here. First up, we got ourselves cyclone. Once we take a look here at 21048. All right, cross portions here of Maryland. So over the next little bit, we're not expecting anything significant. Nothing that's on the table as of right now. So that's definitely good. Whenever it comes to precipitation over the next little bit, it does kind of show a bit of rain showers being possible. I'm not going to get my hopes too high for this, but kind of here for the 12th, maybe the morning hours. Yeah, this is going to be right around when we're streaming that coverage for the cyclones there. So that's going to be pretty interesting. But overall, this kind of show a little bit of a band of precipitation. Otherwise than that, it's going to be pretty much calm for the most part. We got high pressure building in across the southeast mid-Atlantic region, leading to some pretty nice conditions overall. So not expecting anything crazy for you. Next up, we have ourselves 0. Once we take a look here at 38313. All right. This is across portions here of Tennessee. Gotcha. So you're right here east of Jackson. So when it comes to it, like I said, whenever it comes to it, we track way down in time. Now, I will tell you what, there might be a little bit of precipitation involved regarding this, like I said, subtropical cyclone potential. This thing could bring up some rainfall up there. Also, there might be a bit of activity here for severe weather, maybe towards the end of the week, kind of like the 14th, 15th region. So still several days out, could definitely change. But otherwise, over the next 3 days, really, it is expected to be, or next 2 or so days, pretty much the next 2 days, 2 to 2.5 days, it's pretty much calm for the most part. Not expected to see much. Once again, high pressures in place across a lot of the region, leading to some pretty nice conditions overall. So we are looking pretty good, my friends. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves Benjoy. Once we take a look here at 39110. Okay, this is in Mississippi. Gotcha. So you're right there near Jackson. Okay, so when it comes to it, they're towards Jackson. Like I said, once again, something you might want to watch out for is the possibility for some rain out of this system that could roll through. Depending on how far east or how far west the system ends up tracking, that'll determine on exactly like how much you could see. But overall, I would keep it in as a possibility. So we'll watch it. Whenever it comes to severe weather possibilities here for like next week, I do think... let's see. I do actually think that you might be in line for possible severe weather because the models do support a bit of instability being available right there for kind of like the late 15th. It's not ruled out, but I'd say it's a possibility. So we'll keep an eye on it. Yeah, like I said, the problem is with the event here for 14th and 15th is that there's just not enough wind shear for where the available energy is at. So could have some problems. All right, let's see here. Sergine Train, once we take a look here at 60560, right here for areas of Illinois. Gotcha. So here's the thing. You're right here towards Chicago, just as a rough little view out there. Like I said, over the next little bit. Yeah, really not expecting much out there anytime soon. In the long range of things here, yeah, like regarding anything in the immediate future that you should be aware of. Here, let me bring this up. I'm gonna switch something out here. So whenever it comes to it, honestly, there is a system that could be driving its way through basically here for like the 15th. It might bring some rain, but I don't think severe weather would be a concern there for you. So overall, I think you are pretty golden, actually, over the next little bit. So that is some good news overall. All right, let's see who's next. We have ourselves Riley. Once we take a look here at 46580. 46580. Gotcha. So this is for Indiana. All right, so you, my friend, are on the north central side. All right, so you're right there in the upper portion. So severe weather-wise, not expecting anything. However, I will tell you this, my friends, right there for you, probably going to see some rain on the 15th. I'd say probably the later portion of the 15th. Here's just a representation from the GFS in the latest frames. With the cyclone, not the tropical one, or not the subtropical one, but out of another system that's expected to brew that could fire off some severe weather. Out of it, you can see some of that rain from that little cold front rolling through. Could be bringing a bit of rain there for you. I don't expect any severe weather to occur out of it. But anyways, that's just kind of what we're seeing there. Interesting. Yeah, it's really far in the extended range. Shows another little system, but I think that's just too far out right now to be tracking. I really don't like tracking more than 5 days out, because then that's whenever things start to get really inaccurate. So accuracy is very important whenever it comes to the channel here. But overall, that's that. Sewing wants me to take a look here at 74631. 74631 across Blackwell, Oklahoma. Gotcha. All right, so you, my friend, overall in the next little bits here. Yeah, like I said, we've had a few thunderstorms. I mean, obviously you went through those thunderstorms earlier, but after that, once things kind of fade out tonight, which they already have, you're basically in the clear for the next 2.5 days or so. So overall, we're looking pretty good. However, I will mention here, like I said, regarding the severe weather possibility, okay, because like I said, we have a system that could be brewing up there. It might have enough instability there to possibly fire off some thunderstorms here. For an example, you can see the ECMWF, or the European model, supporting enough instability for maybe a little bit more thunderstorm activity. But the problem is that those winds are not that strong to support anything crazy. It's also a bit of a cap in effect. So if that cap breaks, the environment would be suitable for the possibility for severe weather. So it's still a little early to tell regarding things, because there is some limitations to the storms, but I think it could be something we should watch out for. And that would be taking place here basically for the 15th. The late 14th. Yeah, late 14th into the early 15th. That is that. Let's see here. Next up, we have ourselves Jay Zora wants you to take a look here at 646 across areas of Illinois. Yeah, we just did a region up there towards Chicago. So like I said, we do have one thing that we are watching is the possibility for some rain here. Probably will occur here for the 15th, for the late 15th. Just a bit of rain, not expected to see any severe weather because the available energy in the atmosphere does not really reach up that high. I mean, some models, like the ECMWF, does show the possibility. I'll go ahead and show you real quickly. Does show the possibility here of allowing for a little bit of instability that could reach up there. I'm going to grab a little sounding. Really not that much energy, though. And, I mean, a few weak severe thunderstorms could occur. You know, a few lower-end severe thunderstorms could theoretically occur, but that's still early talk here. So we'll just watch this over the next few days. And we'll keep Chicago in the views here, but definitely rain could be expected. Absolutely. But anyways, there's a report of a tornado with a land spout attached to it. What? Where? Where was that at? Interesting. Let's see. John says just rain for Chicago. So right now, when it comes to it, yeah, just rain for Chicago. Like I said, there is a little bit of instability according to some of the models there. Like I said, we just looked at the European model, and it does support the possibility there for a bit of thunderstorm potential. So it's not completely ruled out, but I'd say it's still in the works of being noted, essentially. Yo-Yo says, hello, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing all right out there. Glad to have you here. Once again, thank you for joining us. And like I said, if y'all have any zip codes, feel free to let us know. I do want to take a look here at my location really quickly. Here towards Kentucky. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to see anything anytime soon. Severe weather-wise, I might have enough instability out there for a few thunderstorms, but kind of bland, honestly, for me. So it is what it is. Water spout from tropical storm, I'm assuming he means. Yeah, so once again, it's a subtropical storm. It's not an actual tropical storm, but they have very similar characteristics in it. But like I said, I do think that tornadoes could be a possibility. You know, cyclone-induced tornadoes is a possible concern out there. And like I said, some of the models here does support a pretty strong low, actually a little bit stronger than what the latest were showing here before, which I would keep an eye out there for this guy. You know, according to the NAM, it kind of shows things starting to spin up here. Maybe for early signs there, you can kind of see right in here a little bit of a low starting to develop there, kind of for the early 11th. So kind of for like tomorrow morning, maybe a slight low pressure system kind of rolling through, and then everything really starts to kind of wrap up here for like the late 11th. From what it looks like, yeah, kind of for like late tomorrow, early the 12th. Probably we're gonna really start to see it, but I'm just surprised at how crazy the NAM shows this thing. I mean, like I said, the NAM shows it making a direct approach over Mobile, Alabama. So for the coastlines of Mobile, I would watch out for the possibility of maybe a bit of swelling in the oceans. I'm sure that those sea levels are going to be rising a little bit. Definitely is a possibility. So we'll see. We will definitely see. I don't even think the hurricane models have picked up on this. Yeah, the only thing the hurricane models are picking up on is the that one nasty cyclone that's expected to hit northwestern portions of Australia. Yeah, no, it's going to be pretty daggone nuts out there. Let's take a look at 12Z. For some reason, HWRF is not doing so hot with these latest scans on the infrared spectrum. Yeah, but the radar out of this is, holy cow. I mean, look at that beast. I mean, this is just a pretty gnarly storm that's going to be making landfall. 927 millibars, according to the HWRF. And this is making landfall here for the 5 a.m. on April 13th. This is in Eastern time, by the way. And still actually kicking up quite a bit here at this point, kind of like tropical storm force. This point, you know, possible category 1, 2 force maybe. Cat 3 force, maybe Cat 4 or 5 at landfall. Kind of what it looks like. But man, that is aggressive looking. I tell you what, let's see. Okay, yeah, a lot of these don't even go into detail here. ECMWF kind of shows a 955 millibar landfall. Like that is a pretty strong cyclone there. Pretty daggone strong out there. I see the winds out of this guy. Oh yeah, well over like 90, 100 knots or so. Yeah, 93 knots is what it shows at landfall, according to the European model. Let's see, GFS. Yeah, GFS here shows at landfall there, 106 sustained. As soon as it makes landfall, it goes down to 87 maximum. Like that's pretty crazy. Yeah, it's probably going to be a high in Cat 4, low in Cat 5. I don't know, though. Like I said, the models are all over the place. You know, some models are showing it hitting pretty hard. Current storms. Here we go. Yeah, here's the latest info here. Actually, here's the satellite imagery that's been popping up. Yeah, look at all the convection. Wow. Big old convective burst there. And the latest satellite imagery. That's interesting. Yeah, look at that. Showing a very strong approach here, but at least 950 millibars. I should probably blow this up so you guys can see it a little better. Yeah, that's a pretty aggressive system that's going to be rolling through portions of regions here. I'm going to blow this up a little bit because this is like the forecast. Let's see, on landfall approach. Okay, 75 there. 130 knots as soon as it reaches there. Holy cow, dude. 130 knots is in the forecast, which I believe, let's see here. Knots and miles an hour. So it's at 130 knots. It's 149 miles an hour. So that's just shy of Cat 5. That is just shy of Category 5 there. Like, that is... Yeah, that's pretty aggressive. 50, 60 minutes. I mean, this thing undergoes rapid intensification there. I wonder what the surface temperatures are. Like I said, they have to be over 26 Celsius in order to produce, like, tropical effects. Let's see. We'll do Western Pacific, wherever that's at. Southwestern Pacific? No, that's too far. There we go. Indian Ocean. That shows it. Yeah, look at that. So we're seeing, anytime you see, like, those surface temperatures, like 30 Celsius or higher, which they are, that's when you can have, like, undergo rapid intensification. Anytime you have those tropical surface, or those surface temperatures of the ocean, like 30 plus, that's when you can, like, really see some extreme development. Which that is pretty crazy. Yeah, that's a good factor of why we're seeing so much activity out of this here. It's just because of how hot the surface temperatures are of the water, which is just ridiculous. Yeah, let's go ahead and switch back over to this view. We're going to move back to tropical tidbits here. Here we go. All right, so new GFS is running here. Yeah, so my Australian friends, y'all got to really be watching. I mean, like I said, this thing is expected to pick up some speed as soon as it makes landfall, which is good name. You know, which is good news there. Right there, making landfall at early 13th, from what it looks like. Let's see here. I want to look at the wind shear. Let's see here. Here we go. Wind shear. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, this really amplifies those winds under the cyclone there. There's like no wind shear at all, as you can see. I mean, this system is wrapping around. Very, very weak wind shear, which, if you don't know, wind shear basically hurts these cyclones. And as soon as it makes inland, as soon as it makes contact with this big old jet streak, you can see how it just instantly just dies out, essentially. But yeah, no, it's in like the perfect conditions here for like rapid intensification, which is just quite nuts, quite nuts. Let's see here. Yeah, sea level pressure, that's just crazy. I wonder if I can... Here we go. Yeah, those winds. Wow, right there at landfall, 134 knots according to HWRF here. And like I said, GFS shows 111, so slightly weaker according to the American GFS. Interesting. So, yeah, we're going to need to watch out for this, y'all, over the next little bit. Like I said, this thing's already picking up some strength here pretty quickly. Estimated right now, central low is 992 millibars and dropping. So that's a pretty strong low already. Right now, yeah, maximum winds here is 50 knots. So right now this thing is considered a tropical storm, per se. This is in that tropical storm realm, which 50 knots is equivalent to 57 miles an hour. So, yeah, this is kind of middle-level tropical storm status right now. So, it's definitely growing. I mean, like I said, it's latest convective energy, as you can see. I mean, big old bursts of warm air rising up in a cooler environment. You can see how it's really expanding. A lot of strong convection. So, that's going to lead to rapid development. I mean, that's already given us signs that there's a lot of crazy stuff popping off. So we'll definitely watch. Let's see, I'm a sub since February, and you had 7,000 subs. Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, it's crazy, you know, how quick this channel has grown. Definitely really thankful for it. Yeah, blue's ECMWF, the orange is GFS. So, yeah, models are actually in pretty decent agreement on where this thing's going to be making landfall now. Which, like I said, it's expected to make landfall right there between Port Hedland and Broome, between those regions there, kind of right between the two. So kind of, here, I'll go ahead and show you guys real quickly. right between these regions. So here's Australia, northwestern side here. We got Port Hedland, Broome, kind of expected right in this little divot here. That's kind of right where the heaviest is, which I don't think the population out there is. I don't think the population out there is really that high, which is good news. But still, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely a lot of people still living there. I mean, this does go across the highway, Highway 1, which I'm sure is probably going to be getting some pretty nasty effects out there. So we will definitely be watching them. But I think tomorrow I'm going to end up making a video for you guys regarding the tropics here. I might just make a specific video for this cyclone here. Because like I said, we are going to be doing coverage on it. I'm also going to be doing a live stream tomorrow night too on a little update stuff. So, all right. Well, anyways, my friends, I think we're going to head off here for now. Like I said, we've been live here. We did 2 live streams today. We just did one out there, and like I said, we just did one out there regarding that severe thunderstorm activity out there towards Oklahoma earlier. And like I said, we just did a little tropical update for y'all and a severe weather update and stuff like that. So I think we're pretty much golden. I think y'all are well updated. If y'all want to go back on any information, like I said, we covered just about everything here. So go back and watch the stream if you're just now joining us and everything like that. But anyways, my friends, well, it's getting a little bit late out there, so I think we're going to call it a night. Once again, if y'all could, consider hitting that subscribe button, leaving a like. It would be greatly appreciated, y'all. Once again, thank you for being here. Like I said, we are really super close to 12,000 subs. So if you've not already, please consider it. It'd be greatly appreciated. Alrighty, well, y'all have a wonderful, wonderful night. Stream's going to head off here in 2 minutes, so y'all say goodbye to your friends and family who might just be hanging around out there, and like I said, we'll do more updates on it tomorrow. Keep you all updated and everything like that. All right, guys. Well, streams once again heading off here in 2 minutes. So if y'all have anything to say, go ahead and say it now to your friends and family in chat. All right, y'all. Take care. Love y'all. Please stay safe, and we will catch you guys here in the next one. Peace out, my friends. See you then.
At Tulsa, it was mostly cloudy with a temperature of 63. Once again at 10 p.m., at Stillwater, light rain was falling. The temperature was 63. The following is your hazardous weather outlook. This hazardous weather outlook is for portions of northern, western, central, and southern Oklahoma and western North Texas. Day 1, rest of tonight, thunderstorms, showers, and some storms remain possible. The potential for severe storms has diminished, but small hail could still be possible with 1 or 2 of the storms. Days 2 through 7, Tuesday through Sunday, fire weather, much warmer and windy conditions will create elevated to near critical fire weather conditions across portions of western Oklahoma and western North Texas late this week into the weekend. Thunderstorms. A storm system will bring a chance of thunderstorms to the area Friday and Saturday. A few severe storms appear possible on Friday. Get graphics and more details at weather.gov/Norman and follow our weather forecast office on Twitter and Facebook. From the Norman Forecast Office, here is the forecast for Stillwater and surrounding area. Rest of tonight, partly cloudy with a slight chance of showers and thunderstorms until midnight, then mostly clear after midnight. Lows around 50. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Chance of rain 20%. Tuesday, sunny. Highs in the mid-70s. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour. Tuesday night, clear. Lows in the upper 40s. South winds 5 to 10 miles an hour. Wednesday, sunny. Highs in the upper 70s. South winds 15 to 20 miles an hour with gusts up to 30 miles an hour. Wednesday night, mostly clear. Lows around 50. South winds 10 to 15 miles an hour with gusts up to 25 miles an hour. Thursday,